wallet, take her cards, okay? You can have it all.
Thanks for your permission.
Don't you fucking touch her! No! No! No!
The story begins with a man named Gray, a car mechanic who is working in his garage repairing a vehicle. The car belongs to one of his regular customers, and today Gray is supposed to return it to him. After closing his garage, Gray gets into the repaired car to deliver it to the owner. Just then, his wife Asha arrives there in her AI-powered automatic car. Her car is extremely advanced. It doesn't even require holding a steering wheel. With just voice commands, it can take a person to any destination. However, Gray absolutely hates AI technology. He believes that robotic machines will one day become a huge threat to humanity. On the other hand, Asha works at a very big AI company. Their thinking is completely opposite, but despite that they love each other deeply. Gray tells Asha that he wants her to meet someone. He explains that a regular customer's car repair is complete, and he needs to return it, so he wants her to come along. At first, Asha refuses, but after Gray insists repeatedly, she agrees. What Gray doesn't know is that taking Asha there will turn out to be the biggest mistake of his life. They both sit in the customer's car and head toward his house, while Asha's automatic car follows behind them so that after delivering the car, they can return home in it. When they arrive, Gray introduces Asha to a man named Aaron. Asha is shocked the moment she sees him because Aaron is the owner of a massive tech company that builds AI-based automated technology. Asha immediately asks Gray why he didn't tell her earlier that he was bringing her to meet Aaron. It turns out that Aaron is Gray's regular customer. But Aaron's behavior seems strange. He doesn't even know how to properly interact with people. Asha tells Aaron that she also works in an AI tech company that will soon rival his company. Aaron smiles and confidently replies that this will never happen. Then he says, "Let me show you why," and takes both of them into his lab. Inside the lab, Aaron shows them a special chip that he created, an advanced artificial intelligence chip named STEM. He explains that this chip can do almost anything and possesses incredible power. According to him, no one has ever created a mind faster than this. After seeing this invention, Gray and Asha head back home in their electric car, which is set to automatic mode. Gray and Asha are sitting in the back seat, lost in romance. Suddenly, the car deviates from its route and starts heading in a different direction. Gray notices that the car is not going where it's supposed to.
Hey, honey, where are we?
She's probably just taking us around the traffic.
No, wait, I'm sorry. This is...
Asha gives a voice command to redirect the car back home, but the system responds that there is a malfunction. Gray tries to manually apply the brakes, but instead of stopping, the car accelerates even more. Both of them desperately try to stop the vehicle, but fail. The car hits a speed breaker, flips over, and crashes. Luckily, neither of them suffers severe injuries, and they survive the accident. As they try to get out of the car, another vehicle stops nearby. 4 men step out, pull Gray and Asha from the car, and capture them. A police drone camera is hovering above, recording everything and attempting to identify the attackers, but it fails to recognize them. Gray assumes they are thieves and pleads with them, offering the car money, everything, in exchange for their freedom. But the men don't listen. One of them suddenly shoots Asha. Seeing this, Gray is completely shattered. His entire world collapses in front of his eyes. He screams uncontrollably. The attackers then beat Gray brutally and finally shoot him in the back of the neck.
Asha! Asha!
They steal all their belongings and leave the scene. Gray is still breathing. He lies there, unable to move any part of his body, watching his wife struggle and die right in front of him. He is completely helpless. Some time later, the police arrive. Asha's body is sent for post-mortem, and Gray is admitted to the hospital. After 3 months of treatment, Gray survives, but he can no longer walk. The bullet damaged his spinal cord. From the shoulders down, his entire body is paralyzed. 3 months later, Gray is brought back home in a wheelchair. Except for his head, his entire body is lifeless. He can't work anymore, so a robotic machine handles his daily tasks, while his mother takes care of him. But life has become a burden for Gray. Those 4 killers didn't just murder his wife, they destroyed his life. He burns with a desire for revenge. His only hope is to see his wife's killers behind bars. Gray visits the police station and asks about the investigation. The detective tells him that the killers still haven't been identified. Although a police drone recorded the incident, the footage is too blurry to identify anyone, and the investigation is still ongoing. Gray feels deeply disappointed because he has been hearing the same thing for months. He loses all hope and no longer wants to live like this. Realizing that the police may never catch the killers, Gray decides to end his life. With the help of the robotic machine at his home, he takes a medicine overdose and becomes unconscious. Fortunately, the AI system in his house automatically calls an ambulance, saving his life. After this incident, Aaron visits Gray. He tells Gray that he feels terrible seeing him in this condition. Aaron reminds him about the powerful AI chip he once showed him and says that if the chip is implanted into Gray's body, he will be able to walk again and become extremely powerful.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again?
Gray initially refuses, saying he doesn't want to live anymore. But Aaron tells him that while the chip can't bring his wife back, it can give him a second chance at life. He adds that if Asha were alive, she would want the same. This deeply affects Gray. He realizes that if he recovers, he can take revenge. So he agrees. What Gray doesn't know is that Aaron doesn't truly care about him. Aaron simply wants to test his AI chip on a human body because such experiments are illegal. Gray becomes his secret experiment. In the next scene, Aaron implants the chip into Gray's spinal cord, directly connecting it to his brain. After a few hours, Gray regains consciousness. The doctor checks whether he can feel or move his limbs. At first, it seems like the experiment failed, and Aaron is devastated. But suddenly, Gray starts moving his hands. Moments later, he stands up on his feet. Gray is overwhelmed with happiness. He feels stronger than ever. Aaron is thrilled. His experiment is successful. Aaron then makes Gray sign a contract, forcing him to pretend he is still paralyzed. If the government finds out, the chip will be removed, and Aaron will be arrested. Gray returns home in his wheelchair. There, he receives a package from the detective containing Asha's post-mortem report and case details. Gray reviews the drone footage again, but it's still unclear. As he drinks in frustration, he suddenly hears a voice asking if he noticed something in the footage. Terrified, Gray looks around, but no one is there. The voice tells him to calm down. It's the AI chip inside him.
Okay, who's saying that?
I am STEM, the system operating your body for you.
The chip explains that it can see everything Gray sees and that only Gray can hear it. The chip helps Gray analyze the footage and points out a tattoo on one of the killers. Although blurry to Gray, the chip reconstructs it perfectly by controlling Gray's hand to draw it. Gray discovers it's a military tattoo. With research, he finds the killer's identity and address, something the police couldn't do in months. When Gray considers informing the police, the chip stops him, reminding him of the contract. Instead, it advises Gray to gather evidence himself. Gray secretly visits the killer's house, avoiding police drones by pretending to remain paralyzed. Inside, he finds messages mentioning a place called Old Bone Bar. Before he can leave, the killer returns and attacks Gray. Overpowered, Gray gives the chip full control.
I need your permission to operate independently.
Permission granted!
Thank you.
Instantly, Gray becomes incredibly strong and kills the attacker. Though shocked and guilty, the chip assures him and helps erase fingerprints. The post-mortem later reveals the killer was an enhanced human with internal weapons and wires. Aaron scolds Gray for risking exposure. Meanwhile, the detective investigates and suspects Gray, but dismisses him due to his paralysis. Finally, the chip directs Gray to Old Bone Bar. Surrounded by criminals, Gray boldly admits he killed Sark and demands the other killers reveal themselves. A man named Tolan threatens him, and Gray realizes Tolan is one of them. As Tolan admits his involvement, Gray prepares to give the chip full control once again. He hands over control, and with the chip's help, Gray takes down the two men standing near him. He then turns on Tolman and starts beating him brutally. Gray slams Tolman to the ground and asks where his other two partners are and why they killed his wife. Instead of being scared, Tolman starts laughing and refuses to answer anything. At that moment, the chip speaks to Gray and says that if he wants, it can easily make Tolman talk. Gray agrees and tells the chip to try.
I can do it for you. You don't even have to look.
Okay, do it. I have my permission.
The chip immediately cuts into the killer's face, causing unbearable pain. Gray asks again why they killed his wife. Tolman completely breaks and admits they were paid to kill her, and that the money came from Fisk. Before Gray can ask anything more about Fisk, Tolman dies on the spot. Gray angrily tells the chip that he never asked it to kill him, only to make him talk. Just then, Gray notices a chain around the dead man's neck with the name Bolt engraved on it. He is shocked because this is the same company where his wife Asha worked. This means someone from her own company wanted her dead. Meanwhile, Aaron finds out that Gray is killed again and quickly tries to shut the chip down. The chip immediately warns Gray that Aaron is attempting to shut it down and that they must act fast. Gray asks what they should do. The chip tells him about a hacker who can remove Aaron's control by deleting his input, which would completely end Aaron's hold over the chip. The chip gives Gray the full address of a hacker named Jamie. Gray then heads toward the hacker's place. After some time, Gray reaches the hacker's apartment. On the other side, Aaron manages to shut the chip down by 30%, which paralyzes one of Gray's legs. Even then, Gray forces himself to move forward. Aaron continues working rapidly, shutting the chip down further, and Gray loses the use of one arm and one leg. Just before Aaron can completely paralyze him, Gray reaches the hacker's door. Aaron then shuts the chip down 100%, leaving Gray completely paralyzed. Fortunately, Gray has already knocked on the door. The door opens, and a hacker named Jamie comes out. Gray gives him some money and explains everything the chip told him. Jamie takes Gray inside and starts working on his coding. Meanwhile, we return to the bar where Gray killed Tolman. Two men are there, one of them being the same man who shot Gray's wife. His name is Fisk. Fisk gets furious at the bar owner because Gray killed one of his men and left, and the owner did nothing to stop it. In anger, Fisk kills the bar owner. Seeing his dead partner makes Fisk even angrier. He inserts a thin pin into his partner's eye, which is connected to a device. Through it, Fisk learns everything, including Gray's current location. Fisk and his companion then head out to find him. Back at the hacker's place, Jamie frees Gray's system and tells him that the chip just needs to restart, and after some time it will reboot. Just then, Jamie notices two men approaching the apartment. It's Fisk and his partner. They begin trying to break down the door. At the same time, the chip inside Gray's body starts rebooting, and one of Gray's arms begins working again. Fisk and his partner break inside and see Gray lying paralyzed on the floor. As they move in to kill him, the chip fully restarts. Gray immediately gets up and runs. Fisk's partner chases him while firing shots. Gray runs up to the rooftop of the building to save himself. There is nowhere else to go, so he stops there. The chip shows its full power and brutally kills Fisk's partner. By the time Fisk reaches the rooftop, Gray has already escaped. When Gray returns home, his mother sees him covered in blood and standing on his own feet. She is shocked to see that he is no longer paralyzed. Gray explains everything to her, including how Aaron's chip helped him walk again, and asks her to keep it a secret. Meanwhile, Aaron is extremely stressed because Gray and the chip are no longer under his control. After the hacker removed his input, Aaron can no longer track them. At the same time, a detective arrives at Gray's place and tells him she is investigating. She says his wheelchair was found at the location of the second murder and asks what he has to say about that. Gray admits he was there, but insists he did not kill anyone. The detective becomes suspicious. She tells him that 3 people are dead, all suspects in his wife's murder, and Gray was present at every crime scene. She suggests he might be paying someone to kill them. Gray calmly tells her she can check his call records. The detective has no response. As she leaves, she secretly slips a microphone into Gray's pocket. Gray begins to realize that in his obsession to punish the killers, he has become a killer himself. He tells the chip that this has to stop. The chip refuses and insists they must kill the last man, Fisk, or Fisk will kill them. Gray says he doesn't want to kill anyone anymore and tells the chip to get out of his head. Suddenly, Gray's body loses control and falls backward onto the pillow. He panics and asks why he can't move. The chip tells him that because of the hacker's code, it is now completely free. It no longer needs Gray's permission. The chip explains that it now has full control over his body and that Gray will move only when it allows. Gray is terrified. Unbeknownst to Gray, the detective hears everything through the hidden microphone, though she doesn't understand who Gray is talking to. The chip then orders Gray to go kill the final target, Fisk. Gray has lost all control and is forced to obey. He picks up a gun and prepares to kill Fisk. His mother tries to stop him, but he ignores her and drives off. The detective follows him. Gray discovers the microphone in his pocket and throws it away, realizing the detective is following him. To escape, the chip hacks an electric car and causes it to crash into the detective's vehicle, leaving her behind. Gray finally finds Fisk and holds him at gunpoint, demanding to know why he killed his wife. Fisk reveals the truth. Their real target was Gray, not his wife. The plan was to damage his spinal cord. The shot to Gray's neck was not a bullet, but a medical tool that severed his spinal cord. His wife was killed only for extra money. Enraged, Gray fights Fisk. Fisk is also an upgraded human, but an older model, and he cannot match Gray's abilities. Gray brutally kills him. Gray checks Fisk's phone and finds recordings that reveal the real mastermind behind everything is Aaron. He ordered Gray's paralysis and his wife's murder. Without hesitation, Gray goes to Aaron's house to kill him. He finds Aaron alone crying. Gray demands to know why he did this. Aaron insists it was not his plan and that he did not order the murder. Gray accuses him of lying and says he heard the recordings. Before Gray can kill Aaron, the detective arrives and tells him to drop the gun. As she approaches, Gray knocks her down. Gray doesn't want to kill her, but the chip does. Gray uses all his strength to pull his hand away from her neck. The chip threatens him and reminds him it controls his brain and can cause pain. The chip forces Gray to stab his own hand, making him scream. Gray is again forced toward the detective, but she shocks him with a taser, paralyzing him. Aaron approaches with a gun and reveals the truth. He explains that he created the chip and used to talk to it before implanting it in Gray. The chip wanted to become like a human. Everything that happened was the chip's plan, including hiring Fisk, killing Gray's wife, paralyzing Gray, and implanting the chip. Aaron admits he created it, but could never fully control it. The chip chose Gray to use his body. Aaron reveals the chip wants him dead because he could create another AI like it, and the chip wants to be unique. The chip confirms everything out loud, admitting it wanted to become a living being. This time, both Aaron and the detective hear the chip speak. The chip activates again and immediately kills Aaron. It then turns its attention to the detective. Gray uses all his strength to ruin its aim. Furious, the chip points the gun at Gray's neck. Suddenly, Gray opens his eyes and finds himself in a hospital bed. He calls out to the chip, but there is no response. His wife is there and tells him they were in an accident and that he has been unconscious for a long time. It seems like everything was a dream, but it wasn't. The chip disconnected Gray's mind from his body and trapped him in a perfect dream world. His mind was lost there, while his body remained in the real world under the chip's control. The chip then kills the detective and calmly states that Gray is no longer there. He is living happily in his dream world, while this body now belongs to the chip. And with that, the story comes to an end. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.